Hello, I am FirePug. If you guys are new, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to go through a tier list for all the legends here in Season 8. There were some small changes to meta, and I'm going to go over just my personal thoughts. I think this will be a pretty popular opinion, but I do think there will be some disagreements here there. So let me know what you guys would change down in the comments. First, I'm going to start off with the S tier and just work my way down. I want to give the first S tier legend is going to be Horizon. I think Horizon has really slowly become sort of the new Wraith. Great for repositioning, and her ultimate can really screw up a whole enemy team's plan. I think Horizon definitely deserves to be S tier, and as people keep learning how to play her better, she definitely keeps getting better as well. Now, secondly, I'm going to give it to Caustic. And now, I don't like this at all. I hate Caustic meta. I hate playing against Caustic, but Caustic is just a very strong legend. I mean, his gas traps, his ultimate, it's just a very powerful ability, and when used correctly, there really isn't much an enemy team can do to stop it. I hope they plan on nerfing Caustic soon, because I just can't stand Caustic. Now, the last S tier legend I'm going to give to Bloodhound. I've been a Bloodhound main since Season 2, before it was cool to play Bloodhound. Back when Bloodhound was probably a B tier or even a C tier legend, and I'm really glad with where Bloodhound is at. I think is a very strong tactical ability, not only for themselves, but for the whole squad as well. It really benefits the whole squad, and it's great for getting you assists in ranked as well, free RP. Alright, now we're going to move on to the A tier legends. Now, I haven't put Wraith anywhere yet, and that's because she's going to be top of the A tier for sure, 100%. Wraith's always been Wraith. They really haven't touched her much. She's still one of the best legends out there. Now, for other A tier legends, I'm going to have to give it to Lifeline. Lifeline alone isn't that bad to fight. Her health drone does kind of make her kind of a scary thing. If you shoot her up pretty good, she runs away. She can come back fully healed in just a little bit. But also, it's those team fights where she can drop down that Lifeline drone and have it resing with that wall up. It can make for some really big plays. So that's why I'm going to give Lifeline A tier. Now, the last A tier legend is going to have to go to Gibraltar, another sort of defensive yet supportive character similar to Lifeline. He has a powerful bubble res, ultimate is a very powerful abilities, and I find myself actually losing a lot of 1v1s to Gibraltars just because of that gun shield. And I hope they do consider a slight nerf to Gibraltar. I think if you touch him too much, he'll become useless. My personal opinion, if you could collateral through his gun shield with like a sniper or something, or I mean, if it has like the gun shield is like 5 health, you shoot it with the R301, there'd be a little bit of bleed through there. I think that'd be just a fine small nerf to Gibraltar. All right, let's go on to the B tier legends. Octane this is the first time I'm ever putting Octane above C tier. That's because his jump pad's really awesome. His jump pad is actually a really good repositioning tool. It's like not even a joke anymore. Like Octane jump pads are useful if used correctly. I'm also going to put Revenant at B tier. They have been talking about buffing Revenant a little bit. I think Revenant's really fine where he's at. I think his ultimate, I mean, it can be a really annoying third-party tool, but it's a really good way to push his squad. His tactical has always been pretty useful as well. And also in B tier, I'm going to give this one to Mirage. Now, I've never really put Mirage this high on the list, but Mirage's ultimate did receive a little bit of a buff. And to be honest, I don't think I've ever won a 1v1 with a Mirage who popped his ult in the middle of a fight. It's a very powerful tool, and Mirage deserves to be at least B tier for sure because of that. Pathfinder, I'm also going to put B tier. Now, I think they're going to buff Pathfinder. I've heard devs talking on Twitter about putting Pathfinder back in the ALGS, which is the big Apex Legends tournament, and so I think they're going to consider buffing Pathfinder. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Pathfinder A tier next season. That's it for my B tier legends. I'm going to move on to C tier. First on my C tier is going to be Crypto. Now, I don't think Crypto's bad. I think Crypto's good. I think the EMP is a very powerful tool. I think Crypto flying around with his drone while his squad is fighting isn't a very powerful tool. And that's just the problem with Crypto, is it turns into a 2.5v3 when Crypto's using his drone. But the EMP, still a very powerful tool. Also in C tier, I'm going to put Bangalore. And I think Bangalore's always really been C tier and B tier. I don't think Bangalore's ever been bad. I don't think Bangalore's ever been the best. And I think that's where Bangalore's probably going to end up staying. Hopefully we do see a little bit of a buff for Bangalore. I think she deserves it. She's been around for a while and has always pretty much stayed in the middle here. But definitely a C tier legend in my eyes. Now, the brand new legend Fuse, who I don't have down here unfortunately, I'm going to also put C tier. I think Fuse, it looked super overpowered at first, but when you actually get in a fight with the Fuse, his tactical and ultimates are pretty underwhelming for the way they look. It's just something you can't be afraid of as fighting him. I think he's a C tier legend. Watson, I'm also going to put C tier, and I think Watson used to be A tier. I think everyone else just caught up. I mean, I think Watson used to be up here, but I think Pathfinder also passed her up. I think Mirage passed her up. I think Gibraltar and Lifeline passed her up, and I think the brand new Legend Horizon, Caustic, and even Bloodhound all passed Watson up. I don't think Watson's ever been touched really, like ever, and I think she does deserve a little bit of buff now because she's definitely been falling behind as characters are being buffed. That's another thing to talk about with Apex Legends. Look at Caustic and look at Gibraltar, look at Horizon, look at Bloodhound. What makes those characters like as powerful as they are? It's really just the strength of the ultimates or the tacticals. And I think that's really what makes a character a strong character nowadays. Apex Legends has definitely been seeing more of a turn into a little bit more of a shift into a ability based instead of a gun based, but that's not all scenarios because I mean a Volt can kill you in like 4 or 5 shots in like less than half a second. So I'm not saying gun skill doesn't exist. I'm just saying I think the abilities have meaning more now than they ever did before. And lastly, we're gonna have Rampart and Loba in D tier. Now I don't think I think Rampart's bad. I'm going to admit that. I think Rampart needs a buff. I think she sucks. Loba, though, I don't think she's really that bad. I think she's almost C tier. They did a good job buffing her black market. I'd like to see a little bit more done with her tactical to bring her up to the C tier middle of the range slot. Overall, I think this meta, I think it's alright. The only really big problem I have with this meta is Caustic. I hate playing against Caustic. So that's just the one problem I have with it. But otherwise, this is my tier list. Let me know if you guys disagree. I can definitely see where some people would argue switches and stuff in here. So just let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.